2 incredible days for the Dubai Capitals, back to winning ways, and they keep their playoffs hope alive. When we talk about the comebacks the ILT20 the Dubai Capitals win today will be remembered. When we talk about a collapse in the first innings, which meant they only got to 147, but MI Emirates got up to a good start. At one point, the Capitals had lost the initiative, but thanks to a fantastic spell by Zahir Khan, Haider Ali and Sikandar Raza, the Capitals roared back and now have gone to 10 points. Now looking at the points table, MI Emirates, Gulf Giants and the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders have made it to the playoffs. The Dubai Capitals still very much in the race and nearly there. Tomorrow's going to be a big game. The Warriors take on the Vipers. And joining me on Cricket Safari, we have Darren Ganga, Max Hilden and Bakar Yunus. Guys, what a game. Dubai Capitals.
Yeah, they surprised me. I must say that. I'll put my hand up and admit that they have, because I felt that effort in the last game in Dubai really sucked everything out of you guys. Raza scoring that 6 to win the game. To turn around and come back and put in another big effort would have demanded a lot, but it's the character of this team. So all credit to you, Max, and your boys in the display that you guys showed. I felt at the halfway stage you're a little bit short on runs, but you're bowling again, coming through, more so the spinners. Yeah, absolutely. No, we obviously would have liked a few more halfway stage with the start we got. But we back ourselves with the attack we've got and the variety and the spinners on that surface to defend it. Obviously, it took a great effort, and the number of balls there without a boundary was quite remarkable. I don't think I've ever seen that number of balls without that out of boundary before. But yeah, very pleasing, and to back up from last night, like you say, it was an emotional roller coaster, and to get over the line the last ball gave us that bit of momentum we needed and that bit of kick start to the campaign we felt like we deserved and needed, and back it up again tonight and win in a different way. It makes it very pleasing.
Well played, Max. Very well played. You haven't really had a great season so far before this game. Was there a order or the captain told you to just play a certain way, or you just decided yourself?
Decide myself, really. I think T20 is a funny game. You can feel like you're doing a lot of things right. It doesn't quite come off. It's that's the nature of the game. So I'd like to try and remain positive, and a bit of a different role the last couple of games at the top of the order. I haven't done that for a little while, but it's something I enjoyed. And I think always if you're in doubt in T20, taking on the positive option is the way to go. And that's what we speak about back home in England quite a lot. If you're sort of 50-50 how to go, like always try and take on the positive option. So that's what sort of the backing I got from the coaches and what I tried to do.
And what was the talk at halfway stage?
I think it's positive. Like we said, with the start we'd have probably liked 170, 180. But with runs on the board, there's always that scoreboard pressure. And if we could squeeze in the middle lows when it got a bit tougher, and Haider Ali bowled unbelievably well there, the local lad, really pleased for him. And just put the squeeze on, and like when that pressure comes, when you've got runs on the board, you're always in the game.
And the wickets overall getting a little slower now, is it? Is that right?
I think so. As the tournament's gone on, I think we saw at the start, particularly teams batting second with that dew factor, the ball was skidding on really nicely, and teams found it quite comfortable to chase down scores. But I think we've seen a little trend the last few games. It seems to have slowed up a little bit and been a bit tougher for the teams batting second. And when pace has been taken off the ball, it's been a bit harder. But who knows what it'll be like next time.
Well done, well played.
Well, Max, talking about Haider Ali, he loves a good celebration.
He does, he loves the passion. He's a great guy to have in the dressing room. I played with him a little bit before, but to be around him again and see his enthusiasm and skill as well, he's got it all. It's great to see when he gets a wicket, he's jumping around. I think guys have got to calm him down a little bit sometimes and make sure he's concentrating on the next one. But really pleased with him, and well-deserved man of the match.
Well, he picked up 3 important wickets, Wasim, Mosley and Andre Fletcher, who was well set. If you had to play a guy like him, what would you say are his biggest threats and important components as a left-arm spinner bowling to you?
I think his biggest skill is his change of pace. Facing him in the nets, he's very hard to set to. I think what you want as facing a spinner is to be able to get used to the rhythm. But for a left-arm orthodox spinner, the way he changes his pace, you never really can just set yourself and know it's coming down. He puts a lot of energy on the ball. So he's got all the skill sets you need, and that passion is infectious, and sort of guy you want on your team, and he shows how much he cares and how much he wants to win. So that pulls everyone with him.
Does he learn a lot from Roelof van der Merwe, who was unfortunately injured and not available for this game? Is there a learning process happening in there?
I think so, yeah. They seem to spend a lot of time together at training and in the nets and things like that. And obviously, Roelof, the amount of experience he's had all around the world. He's a great guy to learn off for someone like Haider, and he's gives his time a lot to other young spinners to help them out. So I'm sure he's been asking for a few tips and things in the nets, and yeah, it's paying off.
Talk to us about Zahir Khan. How good is that?
Yeah, brilliant. Obviously coming in late today, straight into the team as a sub. That mystery spins is invaluable in a T20, isn't it? All the best teams need them, and his ability to pick up wickets through that middle phase really helped. So obviously that massive one of Pollard as well. We knew we needed him early, and if he was there at the end, it was going to be a pretty difficult game to win. So obviously that was a huge moment for us.
Yeah, his control is so impressive. I saw him in the Caribbean, in the Caribbean Premier League. I think it was in 2021. His ability to spin the conventional leg break is so impressive, because I think out of all the left-arm spinners going around the globe today, he spins it the most. And as a lefty or even a righty, a guy who can spin the ball away from your outside edge and also bowl that wrong on, it's always a challenge. If you're facing a guy like that, what's your thinking? I mean, for a guy like Zahir?
Yeah, it's very difficult. He's a hard guy to pick as well, which way it's going. A lot of wrist spinners you face these days, they tend to spin their googly more than a leggy, but he actually puts a lot of energy on his leg spinner as well. So if you're not picking him, it's very, very difficult to play, and especially on a surface which is offering him a little bit, it's hard to rotate the strike, and that pressure builds, and then go for the big shot is when often he picks up his wicket. So yeah, he's a great guy to have for the rest of the tournament, hopefully, and like that wrist spin option in the middle overs to complement Haider and Riloff and the other spinners we have is great.
Well, Max, is the whole team going to get together and be watching the game tomorrow?
I think so. Obviously, we're nearly there, but not quite. We knew the only thing we could do is win both games. We've done that and control what we can control. But I'm sure we'll have get together in the hotel and watch the game. But yeah, fingers crossed. We're nearly there, but hopefully we get completely there tomorrow.
Well, we hope so too. Well, thank you for talking to us, and congratulations today, Max.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thank you.
Well done, buddy.
Cheers.
Well done.
Guys, thoughts? I mean, this has been a big game, and of course...
I'm impressed with Max Holden. I mean, he's mid-20s.
Yeah, 26.
He's coming off, a few low scores, as you mentioned, and then being able to deliver in a must-win situation, so to speak. I'm sure it's exciting for him. Success breeds success, So for this side, I said it in the last game when they won.
Dangerous,
in that close situation. This side could just pick up a certain type of energy and go straight into that playoff round and do wonders, eh?
You did call it, that's for sure.
Yeah, talking a little bit more about Max, sometimes as a batter, you're a batter. I was a good batter, but not as good as you. The way he approached the game today, that was something really, really special. When you haven't had enough runs on the board for yourself, not only the team, but yourself, you're always sort of, nervous and you don't know how to sort of approach the game. But the way he approached, he was positive. You could tell from his body language that, coming down the pitch, and then, of course, using those angles also and being really square, especially against the faster men.
I think that over against Dwayne Bravo in the power play when he struck 3 boundaries really sort of placed him a notch ahead in my mind, because sometimes as a young player, you don't have runs. You're coming up against a reputable player like Dwayne Bravo, who's got all the tricks in the trade. Yeah. And then for him to tee off to Bravo, take him down for 15 in that power play over, it tells that he's in a good space mentally. So that's positive for this Capitals team. The way they play, despite being challenged with players not being in form, you just never know. They can turn up and deliver their best.
And I think Billings, as a captain, doing a fantastic job, isn't he?
I know you want to say something else in the absence of Warner.
No. I enjoyed when Warner was gone, but it's just that unfortunately, because he didn't get runs, and the team started losing. One reason, he couldn't really showcase his complete talent. Yeah, he's definitely a good captain, but Billings, I feel that he just brings more energy.
Disappointing for MI Emirates, of course, top of the table, made it to the playoffs. Really would have liked to go on a high all the way through. Andre Fletcher, it looked like at one point he was going to get the team through, but didn't quite really end that way.
Well, I spoke to him after the game. He was very disappointed. He's very hard on himself when he finds himself in situations like this, when he knows there's an opportunity for him to be a match winner. I think that's every batter's sort of dream in T20 cricket, for you to get a start and for you to lead your team over the line. He's gotten a couple starts throughout the course of this tournament, and he hasn't really been able to kick on, get a big half-century, lead his side to winning. when I spoke with him, he spoke about the pitch being a little bit too pace.
Yeah.
And that delivery from Hyder Ali that got the better of him, he never expected that to come to him so quickly. So he is going through his own mental demons, and I think the team's expectations of him delivering runs is also weighing on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's hit, what, 4 boundaries in his 40-odd, and all those 4 boundaries came when the ball was new, you know, where he can just sort of use the pace. But once the spinners came on, and he just went into a kind of shell that, yes, on the other side there were wickets for tumbling, but he was just not himself. You know, when he plays like himself, you know, relax, and like Max, the Max played, just relax, just be yourself, be positive. I don't think he's just sort of letting himself go. He's just feeling that pressure when the wicket falls from the other end.
And Andre Fletcher, we saw what he was like on the field, but let's get to know him a little better off the field.
You put me on the spot. Bangalore is my favorite place for sure, because of the wicket, outfield, boundary is small, and also shopping as well. You get everything on your doorstep. I love Bangalore. Ice cream. Oh boy, yeah, that's just an icebreaker, but you put me on the spot. I got so much. Fun, everything. Everyone knows me for my smiling also. I think I have $1 million smile. Maybe one day I'll get to be on a Colgate toothpaste brand.
He's full of himself, isn't he?
$5 million
He's
smile.
full of himself.
Well, he hails from Grenada, which is just northwest of my island country,
Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago. And I'll tell you one thing about Andre Fletcher. Honest, genuine individual.
Yeah.
He's a great cook as
Sweetheart,
well.
yeah.
Great cook as well. And, you know, it's someone that has an infectious sort of personality, who loves a laugh. I'm not sure about that cheap food ice cream.
Ice cream.
He's probably being conservative in that regard, but wonderful, wonderful cricketer.
And he'll definitely need all that confidence coming into the playoffs.
Yeah, he's been around T20 cricket for a long time. He's played for the West Indies T20 international side, now to the back end of his career. He wants to leave a mark on the game. I'm sure he also wants to make sure that his reputation within this one MI family is a solid one. And he will want to impact this further by them winning in the playoffs, maybe lifting a title. As you can see there, MI Emirates at the top with 10 points. They've qualified already in that qualifier. One match they'll play against the Gulf Giants. Abu Dhabi Knight Riders will wait to see who they will square off with in that eliminator match. So tomorrow's game, so critical. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to come down to run rate. One of the teams is going to suffer because of the run rate. That's my feeling is. And Sharjah Warriors, I feel that they're going to be pulling their hair soon because, you know, they didn't help themselves. At certain games, they just threw the game away. They didn't really thought about the run rates. Maybe we might be needing it later. And now they need it. They needed that run rate to be somewhere where they can win tomorrow and say, okay, we qualified. But I doubt that's going to happen.
Well, absolutely. And it's going to be a really crucial game tomorrow, like we know, because everything relies now in the hands of the Warriors. Take a short break. On the other side, we look ahead to the Sharjah Warriors taking on the Desert Vipers. Incredible for the Dubai Capitals. 2 nights in a row, back to winning ways and keeping their hopes alive for the playoffs. Almost there, but not quite yet. Tomorrow's game will be a decision maker for them. Joining me on Cricket Safari, Natalie Germanos and Simon Dool. Guys, what a game tonight.
Yeah, obviously good from Dubai Capital's point of view. I think I like the fight that they showed. I know the captain spoke about it. Sam Billing said from his bowling point of view, he felt they showed a lot of fight, they showed a lot of character. And I believe that's something going into the next round, if they make it, is going to be quite important.
I enjoy watching Sam Billing's captain sides as well. And I think, you know, great to have David Warner here at the start of the... I think he just should have been a player, to be honest with you, because you changed captains halfway through. They knew David Warner was going to leave. And what Billings, how he assesses the game, I love what he said to Natalie at the post-match about he feels like when he keeps wicket, he can captain a side and really marshal his troops. And you hear him, he's always talking, he's always changing the field, he's always keeping up with what's going on. What he said about the catches was interesting as well, and very good from a captaincy point of view. Those little things to me tell me that how good Sam Billings is as a skipper and as a player, and I think he relishes it. And for someone like David Warner, who was always going to leave halfway through the season, the pressure of being the face of the tournament may have told on him a little bit as well. I'd rather have seen him here just as a batter and have the same captain all the way through. So they've got it right now, and they seem to have their combination right. The spinners were brilliant through the middle, and yeah, they're all but there. I mean, it's sort of semantics, isn't it, about what happens tomorrow night? But there's a chance. A small chance.
There is a chance, that's for sure. Not quite the day for MI Emirates and not really for Trent Bolt either, but he's proved to us throughout this tournament what an incredible fielder he is.
Fielding's always been an attitude thing for me, and people go, how did he do that?
Here you go, another one. Is he going to take the catch? Would he do that? Yes, he does. We're talking about Bolt. He runs like a bullet too.
Up in the air. Can he get around Trent Bolt? Oh, yes he can. Yes he can. Yes he can. Could have got 2 to it, I think, but made it look a little more special. Wow. Thrusting out that left hand. What a beauty. Hala, hala.
That's right.
I'm both at long off on both of the occasions. That one there, I definitely should have taken with 2 hands, and I waved at James Franklin to try and make him look good. But yeah, I think in terms of the fielding, it's you know, we speak in any team that I've played in that we must have energy and focus and stuff like that in the field. And although I'm a little bit older, I think I still have a responsibility to be leading on the field in terms of watching the captain, being in the right position, etc. And when it comes to the catches, I'm just throwing myself at the ball and hoping that they stick, but they're always very exciting when I somehow manage to hold on to it and hop up and people go, how did he do that? It's always a funny experience. If you practice something and you have enough volume of a skill, that's the best, well, the most common thing of making you better. If you hit a lot of balls, you're going to become a better batter. If you bowl a lot of balls, you're going to be a lot more accurate. So we do a lot of catching. We're always doing fielding as a group. So yeah, but in terms of technique, I think if you can get to the ball as fast as you can and reset rather than trying to catch balls on the move or while you're running around, it becomes a lot harder. So get there early and get your hands ready is a good thing to follow.
Now that's good fielding, but we also saw the opposite of that with the Capitals and some drop catches. Simon, you can't stop laughing about it.
Oh, look, you never want it either. You never want it. Look, when you drop one and one comes to you straight away about 2 minutes later, it's never a great feeling. This one tonight from Banton and the slips was straightforward. Just maybe got a little bit high. He had another opportunity off the knee and then the hand as well. A couple of these to Dasun Shanaka. I mean, what Sam Billings said in the post-match about wanting to go for the second one after I mean, he's made a hash of that. It was hardly laid a finger on it in the end. The sky is not easy, I get all of that, but they do practice this a lot and they practice it at night as well. But to actually go for this, I thought there was going to be a collision here. And luckily for Dasun Shanaka, the other fielder pulled out at the last minute. But he had the wherewithal to go for it still and to try, and spilt it again. It's never a great, but you just want the ground to swallow you up. Luckily for the Capitals, though, it didn't cost them. It didn't cost them the game, and you know, he'll go back to the drawing board and do a bit more practice.
I find it quite interesting because we heard from Trent Bolt in that piece about making sure that you get there as quickly as possible and then you can hold steady and get into the right position. Now, I find that interesting because I think, Julie, you're probably able to back me up on this if I remember this right. AB de Villiers had a different way of doing things, didn't he? He spoke of getting into a position and actually jumping and catching because it keeps your eye line still.
What you see with Shanaka's ones there is you watch the eyes. The eyes are not on the ball all the way into the hands. That's one thing that AB did brilliantly. And you watch the great wicket keepers around the world. Ben Foakes is a great example of this at the moment, where it's here. Whereas you watch Shanaka, his eyes are still here when the ball hits his hands down low, and the same with the second one as well. So for young boys, young girls who are learning to catch, it sounds so simple, but watch the ball all the way into your hands. And if you're going to dive, if you're going to do what AB de Villiers does or what Trent Boult suggests, neither of them are wrong. They just always watch the ball all the way into the hands. And that's, you have a look at his eyes. See his head's still way up? The head and the eyes haven't followed the ball down into the hands. And that's just one of those little things. You can get a little bit lazy at times, and you have to be able to do that. And the same thing there. The eyes are still at 45, 50 degrees up in the air rather than following the ball down to the hands.
Well, drop catches, but the Capitals still made it through and got their win today. Who predicted that? I think we need to take a look at the predictions. All right, let's see the faces next to me. Oh, wow, you guys. What does that mean for the leaderboard? Is Darren Ganga still at the top? We need to take a look.
Hopefully he's falling from grace. Is he or not? 17,
oh my God,
13.
look at that. You guys are catching up.
Ooh, 73%, Natalie, 68%. We're getting there. We're getting there.
You're getting there.
What's Anjum Chopra? Has she been having a holiday out here? 7 games. What's she been doing? Just going to visit the water parks and the sites and seeing all the sites. And where's she been?
Well, Darren's really going to have to watch his back.
Well, somehow I've had one extra game over Dooley. I'm not sure how that's happened. I've had one extra chance to get it wrong. I don't know how that's happened.
Well, looking ahead, tomorrow the big game, Warriors taking on the Vipers in Sharjah. Such a crucial game for the Warriors. And then I guess the Capitals hoping also.
Well, they've got to win big, and they've got to win really, really big. They've said all along net run rate is irrelevant, but now, Dooley, it's come down to net run rate.
Yeah, and over 200, I think, is the key. So if they scored 250, they'd have to bowl the Vipers out for 40. That's kind of the permutations we're looking at. So the chances are very, very slim. But it comes down to net run rate so often. And we talk about it at the start of the tournament, but players don't. Players don't talk about it. Captains, they say, oh, no, we're not really looking at the net run rate. We're not thinking about it. You need to. In game number one, if you've got an opportunity to dominate, to win inside, wickets don't matter. This is the one thing that people forget about with a net run rate. If you need 40 runs off 8, 9, 10 overs and you're only 1 down, if you're 9 down when you win, it doesn't matter to your net run rate as long as you get the job done quickly. Sides don't think about it early in tournaments enough, and they pay the price late in the tournament.
And how crucial is Adil Rashid going to be for the Warriors?
Well, absolutely. I think, from their point of view, they'll be looking to him to do some damage. And can he possibly do it? It's a surface you'd expect that he would be able to do some damage. The question is, can they get their batting together enough to allow him to do this? He's a world-class bowler, and he's come in in good form. So it'll be interesting to see if he can strike again for them.
Well, it's going to be incredible, and can you believe it? It's going to be the game that really decides a lot of things for a lot of people. That's all we have from the Zayed Cricket Stadium. A big one tomorrow, the Warriors taking on the Desert Vipers.